Greetings, and welcome to another edition of the Verbally Effective Podcast. I'm your host, your double E, Ina Esco. I'm so glad you guys have joined me again. We got a new setup. We have a beautiful guest in the building, and we are getting ready for the second annual Podbox Memphis Festival. That's right. We're doing a podcast festival once again, and we're super excited over here at Cecily Library. Details are dropping next week, so make sure you guys are looking forward to that. So today I have with me a beautiful young lady hailing from Mariana, Arkansas. And when I tell you she the type of singer that make you think you can sing, I am talking about none other than the Cecily Wilborn, the lady that sings the Southern Soul. Welcome to the podcast, beautiful.
Thank you, baby. I'm excited to be here.
How you doing?
I'm amazing. I'm blessed.
Yes, and you look absolutely amazing.
I hope I look how I feel.
Cutesy. You're giving me cowgirl. You got your cowboy hat on. The boots are blinging. The bling is blinging.
Yes.
You look great.
I just want to shine today. I was coming up here with EE. I had to make sure I was in order. You hear me?
You are definitely in order. I saw you not too long ago at the radio station, and we chit-chatted. I know that, you know, your journey has just continuously been, ups, downs, all arounds. However, you have a new album out, the Country Gurl playlist. So I know you've been on tour.
Yes.
How do you feel right now in this moment?
It's surreal. I literally just said this to my musician last night in rehearsal. You tell yourself as a kid you want to do something, and life as an adult takes you in different directions.
Yes.
And the fact that I double back around and God allowed me to do this, I can pay my bills and do what I love to do.
Isn't that a beautiful thing?
Oh my God, I ain't got to punch no clock. I ain't got to worry about checking in with nobody other than him.
Okay, we gonna get into hubby in a minute. But when the last time you punched the clock? Now that you say that.
Oh man, I was laid off from my. That's the reason why I am full time today. I was laid off during COVID. Started working when I was a kid, full time job, first baby, and I did not want to ask my parents for nothing. I was stubborn, so I started working and I let music go for a while, just so I could make sure my family was straight. Like I said, God allowed me to double back.
Yes.
I'm going to do it right again.
All right. I love to hear it. Now, let's start at the beginning, Cecily. Let's start back in your Mariana, Arkansas days.
Stomping ground.
Tell me about growing up. And I'm trying to remember, have I been to Mariana? Is that the place you drive through?
Everybody has been to Mariana, whether you know it or not. You even go through Mariana because Highway 1 and Highway 49 cross. Okay. So when you go into Helena, Forest City, Little Rock, Pine Bluff, you got to come through Mariana.
How big is Mariana?
We got three stoplights now. They added
three stoplights.
They added a stoplight, y'all.
Okay.
So we got three now.
Okay. So tell me about.
We got a population. What you think about, baby? About 10,000 people.
That's a community.
Yeah, we got about 10,000. Yeah, we got about 10,000 people. And it may be less than that, but when you think of Mariana, if you think of your favorite, close your eyes and think of the favorite cookout you went to. That's the community, Mariana.
Okay.
White people, black people, Mexican people, it don't matter. Chinese people, like it's a community. They fight like family.
Gotcha.
But can't nobody else come in and say nothing to us.
Okay.
Now Mariana gonna fight amongst Mariana. They're just like your cousins gonna fight amongst themselves. But if somebody else throw in, okay, now everybody gotta whoop you.
Because we from Mariana.
Because we from Mariana. Okay. So Mariana's full of black excellence. Like they even have a nonprofit organization for the students down there. Shout out to Talitha Collins with Black Excellence Fest. They have me every year. They honor me this year, as a matter of fact. They do it every year in February. We've had athletes come out of there that's in the NFL. We've had athletes in the NBA. Spud Wells, the shortest, my daddy tells us all the time, shortest guy in the NBA.
I remember Spud Wells.
Came out of Mariana.
Wow. Look at that.
And my daddy talks about that all the time because I got a short kid, so he uses that to kind of motivate my son. So there's so much that comes out of some of the best attorneys. Shout out to our state representative, Reginald Murdoch. He's literally like an uncle to me. And his wife taught me, and she was one of my cheer coaches.
Look, did I see him at the DNC?
Yes.
You cut up.
Yeah. When I tell you that man be everywhere. He know everybody and he be everywhere, but he is so humble, down to earth. His daughter is my classmate, so we cheered together. It's like family. You don't have to be blood in Mariana. You just got to be good people and do right.
So what I heard you say, cheer. So you were a cheerleader
Oh,
when
honey,
you
I
were
did it
coming up.
all.
You were cheering. What else were you doing?
Mariana in the country, they make you do everything. So I might go outside and help my daddy with a vehicle.
Come on.
Or I might go inside and do stuff with the girls. Ran up the streets with my brother, played basketball. I ran track. We did choir. My dad's a preacher. He's a pastor. He's been a pastor my whole life. He was like one of the community pastors.
Okay, so you a PK.
Yeah. So when we had basketball games going on in the backyard, on Sunday morning, he would come out and expect all them boys that was in the backyard Saturday to be on the front porch Sunday because he doing free haircuts.
Wow.
That's his way of making sure that they felt confident enough to come to church. You know how it is in the South. You got to dress a certain way sometimes when you go to certain churches. And we did have a traditional church growing up, and I'm thankful that growing up, my dad saw that we were going to need something different as his kids. Like if my kids need something different, I'm pretty sure the other community kids need something different. So we started doing like Come As You Are Sundays, where you could wear jeans and T-shirts, and we pissed some mothers off with that, baby.
Oh, they didn't like that.
Oh, baby,
The
you
mothers.
gonna let them girls come in here with some jeans on? Baby, they was hot. But they warmed up to it, and now I think our church still has one of the biggest youth departments in the community.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's definitely, like you said, it's community, it's family. It ain't no city that people think don't nobody know who's in and out. Nah, they know all your business.
Okay. Now, can Daddy sing?
My daddy can not only sing, he's the reason why I sing. My dad was a quartet artist as well.
Oh, wow.
He's signed to Echo Records right here out of Memphis, Tennessee, as a matter of fact. Shout out to Echo Records.
Wow.
So when I was a teenager, I started writing then. I've been getting BMI checks since before I was out of high school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So Daddy made sure that you had the business down.
He was the community pastor. Like if the school had a function going on and they needed sound set up, my dad would come set up sound for the school.
Yes.
Like that was how our family was involved with everything.
Yes.
So it made sense. As a little girl, you would think I'd be running up behind my mom.
I was about to ask
But
you
I was
about
a
how
daddy's
your
girl.
relationship with your mom.
That's my best friend. That's my twin. I talk like her. I walk like her. I look like her, like carbon copy. But my daddy is my best friend. Now my mama, I sit on the porch. We drink coffee. We talk. But my daddy is my best friend. Only because I feel like we shared so much when it came to the music.
Yeah.
And like that was my passion, and my dad shared my passion. My mama loves music. She's a music connoisseur.
She likes everything.
She like everything from Anita Baker to Toby Keith.
Come on.
You
Come on,
hear me? Like,
diversity in music.
Mama is the versatile one. My dad is the traditional when it comes to music. He's who put me on the Sam Cooks and the Johnny Taylors and the
Yes.
Betty Wrights. That
Come
was
on,
my
Daddy.
dad. But quartet stuck me for a while. That's what made me start writing was quartet music. Gospel quartet for music. For y'all that don't know what quartet is. Traditional quartet is a feeling. If you ain't moving people when you sing quartet, go find you another job.
Because when I think of quartet, I think of a group of people
Yes.
harmonizing.
Yes.
Am
And
I right?
it's emotion that comes with it. It's not like choir music. It's not like just a trio. Like when you got a quartet, there's a different feel. Go back and listen to Sam Cooke and the Soul Stirrers versus just regular trios.
It's different.
It's a different feel.
It's different.
Quartet will definitely bring out the best in your writing.
Yeah.
'Cause you got to sing that stuff.
And you like country music as well?
I love country music.
Yeah.
Country music is for the stories.
Yes, because we
Like-
need some good storytelling in these lyrics.
I'm tired of twerking on the headlights. I love my people.
You tired of twerking on the head?
I love my people, but I'm tired and my knees don't do that well. I'm tired. I can't do it. So I just tell them I'm going to stick to my 2 steps to the left and 2 steps to the right.
Right.
That's what we're
like
going to
keep
do.
it simple.
Yeah, we just a little 2
2
step.
steps
We'll be
to
all
the
right.
left. Okay. Okay, Cecily, before we just dive into Southern soul music,
Yes.
tell me what happened after you graduated high school out there in Mariana. What was
So-
next in your journey?
My journey was supposed to be music, y'all. I ended up here. But I took a different way. I was a troubled kid growing up because I was so misunderstood. Like everything.
Why do you say that?
Because as a PK, they expect you to walk a certain way. They
You
expect you
right.
to talk a certain way, And I wasn't the normal PK. And I wasn't a trouble kid. My dad would even tell you, like, it was few times they had to go to the school about me or nothing like that. I always had great grades. I always was in everything. But with that pressure also comes with and you got a lack of confidence. It'll burn you because the no's hit different. or the rejections hit different. You know what I'm saying? So I started dating this guy that was in band. He's my ex-husband now.
Okay.
Also the father of my first three kids, my oldest three kids. We started dating, and I just flipped out. Like, every teen goes through it, but I ran away from home. Transparency. I ran away from home.
Okay.
I got into a physical altercation with my mom. Like, it was bad. It was really bad. So I ended up, I came home after that situation and found out I was pregnant with my son, with my oldest son. And he is an angel. When I say everybody under the sun felt like under the circumstances, I did not need to keep my kid. And I'm not pro anything. I'm not telling y'all what to do with y'all situations, but I felt in my spirit that I was going to need that kid. And that kid saved my life.
How old is he now?
17.
7. Oh,
17.
Girl, 17. That age right there, honey.
Pray for
I
me.
got a 19-year-old.
Ain't nobody warn me. You should have told me this 2 years ago, because, baby, listen.
Girl. I think they gonna pretty much, like, the 17, there's a shift going on.
Yes.
But hey, that's your baby at the end of the day.
Man.
That's your heart. Your firstborn too?
I cannot tell y'all how many times where I just knew I was gonna crash out, and he just pop up out of nowhere and be like, "What's wrong, twin?"
Oh wow. So y'all really close.
Oh, we're really close. But all of my children are close with my husband, my current husband, and I. Like, we have that open door policy, because when I got out of high school, I learned that mistakes, you gon' life gon' life.
Yeah.
And I did not want my kids growing up feeling the pressure that I felt, right? So I got a job. I ended up having John first, and then I was pregnant with Shamata like 2 months later. So I had some stair-steppers.
Yeah.
So I had to get a job. I did not want to ask my parents for anything. The mindset I had at the moment was, I'm going to show them that I'm good, that I can do this, you know?
And I bet they were calling, checking on you.
Oh, my dad, I'm a daddy's girl. So regardless of what I did, regardless of what I did, and they knew I was headed down the wrong road, they would still be like, "If you need us, call us, babe."
Man, and those are things you don't realize until you become a parent. Because I promise you I'm going through it right now.
Say that right now. Like, oh my God. So when I got to the point where I realized where I was messing up, I started just trying to figure out what I could cope, how I could cope. So I ended up going through the divorce or whatever. I still hadn't started tapping in back with music. I was writing for other people, but I wasn't doing anything for me.
So you were writing.
I was writing.
Working.
I've always wrote. I never not wrote. Like, I got books and stuff, but I wasn't writing.
You got my chicks.
Listen to me. Okay. God is good.
Okay.
I wasn't to the point where I was ready to be an artist. I didn't want to sing my own music. So I tried gospel when I was married to my ex-husband, because he was also a PK. I tried gospel. But I realized that the attitude that God set me up with doesn't quite do well with business and God and church.
Why not?
Because church people can push you to a level that you didn't know existed.
Okay, so they have a few situations.
If I have to pull my pistol in a club, that's one thing.
Oh.
But if I got to pull my pistol in church,
what could be going on? That bad.
Honey, they don't like to
Cecily
pay sometimes in the church.
Okay, yeah, don't play with my money.
Don't. I don't want no love offering.
Yeah.
I gave you a contract for a reason.
Right.
You know, so I made the decision that if I wanted to do business and music together, I could not put God in it. If I do something for God, I don't have to charge you for that. If I say I'm gonna do your funeral, I'm coming to support you and do the funeral. If I say I'll support you in your past and wife anniversary, I'm coming to support you in your past and wife anniversary. That's God. It ain't got nothing to do with me paying my bills. Now, I'm not gonna let you get in the way of me paying my bills. I'm not gonna turn money down to come to your free stuff.
Right.
But if God puts me in the position where I'm available and you call, then I don't have a reason not to go.
Wow.
It's free to support people.
Yeah. So and you know what? It's funny that you say that in the gospel realm that is going on. But I'm not surprised, because even as a woman in business, right? Sometimes they think that they can give us the short end of the stick.
I try not to dip into that. But
even if you give them a contract. As if it's not binding.
I try not to dip into that, because I was labeled hard to deal with when I walked around and said that too loud.
I could be labeled that.
Yeah, I would say that real loud. And I learned that there are certain things I just couldn't say. But men can say it.
Exactly.
So this where
the double standard.
This where the double standard came in, but I learned how to play the system. Don't worry about it. When I want to say something, I whisper it in my husband's ear. If he knows that I'm strong, I feel strongly enough about it, now the man gonna say it. Because now you messing with his wife.
So you figure that thing on out.
Ladies, play the system. Get you a Southern man. I'm just trying to say you. I'm helping the people today.
Wow. Okay, so you transitioned out of gospel.
I transitioned out of gospel.
Try that R&B thing.
I transitioned out of gospple and divorced my husband
That's
in the
a
same
big
summer.
Change.
Left West Memphis, went back to my hometown where I knew I was comfortable. Them country folks took care of me. Them country folks also knew all my business because they knew exactly when that man was at my house. So I ended up, me and him were dating already. And his cousin had a cover group, cover band. And they needed a singer. I said, cool, I'll do it.
So at this time, your confidence level was different now.
It was different. It was different. And I was actually still learning myself. So the covers were starting to teach me what I liked and what I didn't like. I like Betty Wright. I fool with Shaka Khan, but I ain't no Shaka. I can sing Jasmine Sullivan. Okay, no, I don't like singing. I don't like singing this one. This Macy Gray ain't for me. You know, doing covers started showing me what I liked about my sound, what I didn't like about my sound. I did covers long enough to where I started wanting to do my own music. So my sister, this is how I end up getting in the professional realm. Y'all, shout out. If you got a big sister, love her and listen to her.
Big sister.
Big sis took us on vacation to New Orleans to the Essence Festival. She got the app on her phone. Essence Festival, get rid of that app. Had the schedule on it. There is a live band karaoke at 8 o'clock in the morning. She wakes us up at 6:15. Y'all, we can win tickets. I know we already got tickets, but they giving away closer tickets if we win this karaoke. Cecily, come on, get up. Come on. And I'm like, girl, we on vacation. She was like, get up.
Because she knew.
So when your sister grit her teeth, you know when they talk through their teeth like that, you can't argue with them. So I got my butt up. We went, y'all, no joke. And the video is on my Facebook page. I sang in front of Tigger and Candy. They were the hosts of the karaoke thing. And it really wasn't the librarian karaoke at first. They were just pulling people out of the crowd. So they pulled like 6 of us up there. And I did, If I Had You Back in My World. I did enough of it to where they told me, you sound like you finna go to church.
I hear it.
Won and pushed through, and I got to go to the live band karaoke, Coca-Cola stage. And I won that one, singing Lean on Me with the band. So that was cool. These girls saw me and snatched me from my sister and was like, we got to get her upstairs. They're doing Apollo auditions. It was crowded in there, so we didn't realize anything was going on. Looked at the line, no joke, upstairs. There's a line that goes from the elevator up the stairs all the way around this corner. We're like, what are they doing? The girl didn't even put me in the line. She grabbed me by my hand and ran me upstairs and put me in front of everybody. They didn't let my sister go in, but some kind of way the door cracked, and she took a picture of me auditioning. Apollo was what made me put out my first single because my dad said, if you're going to go to New York, you got to have something to take with you. You don't have any material out. So I put my first single out, I Guess I'll Drown, and it was a country song. It was a doggone country song.
Happened.
It was a country song. I printed off. We got about 500 copies made, and I packed about 100 of them in my suitcase with me to take to New York. That single did nothing.
It did nothing.
It did nothing. Now, my hometown supported it, of course, but it didn't do anything enough for me to make money off of it.
And it was a country song.
It was a country song.
How did it go?
There's a hole in my heart, and it's burning, and there's nothing that nobody can say. There's a hole in my heart, and it's growing ever since you up and decided to walk away. It's a beautiful song.
It doesn't it gives me R&B vibes.
It does. And when you hear the country, you hear the music, you think
Probably
it's country.
with a guitar with it.
You would think it was country if you heard the music, but then if you just hear me sing it, it sounds like R&B.
Yeah.
I felt like I had something with that, right? So I said, okay, cool.
That was beautiful.
I'm going to go to school and figure out what I'm doing wrong.
Okay.
So I talked to my husband. We got married by then. Talked to my husband. I said, I know we got a lot going on. You working, I'm working. But if I'm going to do this music, I want to do it and know what I'm doing. Nobody's helping me because we don't have any artists out of Arkansas. So I'm like, okay, how do I learn it? So I'm gonna go to school. I'll figure it out. $60,000 later, here comes Southern Man.
Okay.
I wrote, recorded, mixed, mastered. I had some help mixing because I was still in class. Shout out to my mentor, Chris. Hey, babe. Put Southern Man out before I even graduated. So Southern Man came out 2022. I graduated college June 2023, and we were already at 7 million streams.
Oh, wow. See,
Before
that
I
internet
graduated.
is undefeated, baby.
Before I
the
graduated.
streams.
It was the
You
streams
in the
for
era
me.
of the streams.
I had no idea that many people even knew the song.
Wow. Okay, so you say you went to school to learn the business of music?
Yes, it ended up, I wanted to just learn the business. I ended up signing up for music production.
Yes.
They talked me into the music production degree, and I learned everything from film scoring to making music for cartoons, video games.
Yes.
We do now, my husband and I, we do our own videos. So all of my official videos that you see on my channel are shot by JayWil Entertainment.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we do everything. I'm the studio. He does the visuals. We do our own marketing.
A one-stop shop.
One-stop shop.
So
and I'm
you've learned all
blessed.
facets of the business. I
All
think that's
facets.
amazing, Cecily.
I had to double back.
Really like enhance your wheelhouse in this music game because like I'm gonna say it again, as a woman in this business, in this entertainment world, I know how cutthroat it can be.
And it's every man for himself.
Yes.
You think you got friends, and everybody cool when we're not talking about business. When we get in the business room, it's every man for himself.
Oh yeah. And something that we've been talking about since you've been here, you've mentioned your husband Jay quite a few times because he's your manager.
Yes.
How do you all navigate and separate just life from business?
We don't.
We don't. You just
Don't.
all merge.
It's balanced.
Okay.
It's balanced. My kids saw me go to school to do this. They saw me struggle. They saw me cry to do this. So I'm not going to push them away when I start winning doing this. My husband had the stomach be doing this. School, gigging, working 7 days a week, going to Los Cabos. Shout out to Los Cabos in Memphis.
Los Cabos.
Doing BB Kings here in Memphis 3 nights a week.
Oh, I love BB King.
I mean, I was grinding, and they were the ones that got me through the mud. So when it starts to kind of get easier, I keep that same system. So I still cook dinner every other night. I make sure I cook enough for leftovers because I don't like cooking every day.
Yes, I feel you.
I do my own laundry. Like I was upset because I had to get a bookkeeper because I'm used to us budgeting and handling our own finances. I told God I wanted to be a good steward over what he gave me. And if I ask you to enlarge my territory to enhance my family, and I'm not using this to enhance my family, then what am I doing it for other than just please people that don't even know me?
Yeah. Okay. Well, it sounds like everything works out well with hubby being manager.
It's a journey.
It's a journey.
Balance, people. You have to learn balance because we talk to each other a certain way because we're best friends. I got to know when I'm talking to my manager, and I got to know when I'm talking to my best friend because there are certain things I don't like to do, and I get very stubborn when it comes to the business, and I get in my feelings about it. But he has to calm me down. And then there are other times where I'm not mad enough. And it's like, okay, babe, it's time for you to go off now. So he's from the out. He keeps that outside perspective because he didn't know nothing about the business until he learned it from me.
Right.
Whether y'all know it or not, you don't need a manager until you need something to manage.
She said something right there. You're right. You're absolutely right.
I say that from life experience. I took on a manager too fast.
Okay.
And I didn't know how to quality control what he was doing. I couldn't fact check what he was doing. So money came up missing. Shows were not being booked. Calls were not being returned. And if you don't know how to audit your own books, how do you know if somebody is even stealing from you?
So how long did that go on until
He was my
right?
manager for about 2 years.
So what changed? Like, how did you know something was wrong with that particular manager?
Because an opportunity came up, and shout out to King George.
I love King George.
Shout out to King George and the entire KG Music Group family. They are amazing. Kang is like one of my best friends. His producer, Kang 803, is like one of my best friends. They are some of the dopest, realest guys. So they noticed something in my music that was different, that country twang. And Kang wanted to do some work with me. And it had nothing to do with the business I was doing with my manager. But he started giving me jealous vibes. Like they was trying to snatch me. And I'm like, bro, they not even asking about, we talking music, records, streaming, distributed. Like, we ain't talking about management. So that was the first red flag. I'm a woman. You know, we know flags, you know? So they invited me out to introduce me to a label guy. And the label guy just gave me a proposal. I didn't sign anything. When I came back, it was like he just knew I signed. And he stopped booking my shows. Keep in mind, I told you I got laid off. That was why I was gigging in the first place. So now he ain't got no help because I ain't got no income. So I said, okay. Let me start getting my ducks in a row. I need to see all my contracts. Y'all, I still ain't seen them contracts.
What did he flat out say? No, I'm not gonna show.
No,
you?
it was just always something.
Okay.
It was always something.
To this day, you have not seen.
No.
And he has not addressed the money that you have not been given.
No, he said he didn't want to feel like he stole from me, but then he said I know we agreed on one percentage, but I was testing this out to see if you could handle it.
Testing? Girl.
But I don't want to feel like I was stealing from you.
You know what? Like I said, it's such a dirty game, man.
Oh, as the world turns in Southern Soul.
As the world turns. Well, I'm glad that, you know, you had enough foresight and a women's intuition, the red flags, as you mentioned. A whole lot of God. To realize that he was stealing from you and to get out that situation. Was it hard to get out that situation?
No. Believe it or not, I was begging for him to re-sign me. My contract had expired. I was begging for him to re-sign me because I wasn't under the impression that he was stealing from me. I thought he was just being mean. And when I found out he was stealing from me, I was like, oh, okay.
Stealing and being jealous.
I ain't signed no paperwork because you never signed me. So I can just walk away. Well, y'all, it pushed me into a label deal with somebody that was doing the same thing, tried to do the same thing. Shout out to my attorney who's from Memphis, Tennessee. She's a dog. Got me out of that mess. Okay. I was only in that for about 3 months. Like when I say got in and got out. Because I started seeing the exact same pattern.
Oh, wow.
It's like I jumped out of one bed and into another with just the same kind of dude. Yeah. So my heart was broken. Because the first one was like a brother. Like, it's family. And my relationship with my brother was somewhat similar to that, to the manager I had, because my brother was my first musician. He was self-taught musician. He played everything. He was my first teacher when it came to writing. So I kind of felt like when he took me on, he took that position because my brother was too sick to do it, you know? So it hurt like hell to put that kind of trust in somebody. And the first chance they get, they run off with all your money.
I hate that.
Watching me struggle. I was living in a house that was falling apart because the landlord wouldn't fix it. My kids got mold above their heads.
See what
Flows
I'm saying?
falling in, but you riding around in luxury vehicles. The went and bought a Sprinter. You take your family to the 49er games every season.
Yeah, now on your dime.
Did I pay for that Sprinter? We'll talk about it.
But you know what? You had to go through that.
I had to. I learned so much so early.
I
learned so much so early. So now my perspective has changed. That's why I'm not upset anymore. That's why I was able to heal, because I had to change my perspective. I would have much rather I had been in that test with a small amount than for God to enlarge my territory and I have to fight for that much more.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I'd have had to fight 3 times harder if I had 3 times the blessing.
Wow. Isn't that amazing?
It's amazing how God's timing works. And I'm learning to stop questioning it.
I am too, Cecily.
I'm learning to stop questioning it.
I'm not questioning anything else because he knows what he's doing.
And you don't see it until hindsight.
You don't see it.
So when you figure out that I don't control this, it's figured out. I'm just going to have to do what I can't control nobody but me.
Amen. Come on, girl. You got my heart just filled with joy right now.
I can't control nobody but me. Now, if you want to do that, I'm not creating karma for me.
Yeah.
Do you? Because I promise you, that's why I never say names in interviews and stuff like that. Because I'm going to be honest, I talk about situations so that people can learn from the scenarios. But I don't give names because I ain't trying to pit you against that person, because that could have just been them on a bad season. Everybody had bad seasons. I've done horrible stuff.
And people change.
People change. So I don't want my situation that I had with them to stop you from doing something that might he may be able to bless you.
Absolutely.
Your experience with him may not be mine, and I don't want to deter people from having those relationships with people just because somebody else's season wasn't your season.
Gotcha.
You know? So I don't name drop, but I will tell you what happened though.
What happened?
So I'm just saying, period. I spill all the beans because I don't want somebody following up behind me doing the same stuff.
And you got a song about this, right?
Karma gonna always come back around, and time gonna heal these wounds. So you better be careful what you do to me, 'cause it might come around on you.
Come on, Karma. Girl, you know what? Like, your stage presence, like, your delivery is well beyond your years. You know
love
that?
Stories. Country music taught me that. I love stories.
I bet they love you.
I love them.
Show.
They say that my shows are energetic and they're like an experience.
I believe it.
I like to take people on a ride. If you go, I love theater. I used to do theater as a kid when I was in school.
Tell.
Yeah, like
Performative.
I love the delivery.
Yes.
I love the big picture of how it looks when somebody sees the beginning, the climax, the resolution, the end. I love all of it.
And then it's like, I really feel like you're controlling the crowd at the
Yes.
same time. You know what you're doing when you got this microphone in front of you. And that's a skill. That is an art.
I'm gonna be honest, it's a gift because I've been like this since I was a kid.
Come on, Cecily.
Like,
see, that's why I've always
like
loved
this.
you, honey.
2 years old, my mama told this story. I went to The Voice a couple of times, and we had to do interviews, and they had to send these little questionnaires in. And my mom was telling these people that when I was 2, I got up and sang a song, my favorite solo. It was the only solo I knew. And she said, I sang it clear as day. Knew exactly what I said. I got off stage, and they couldn't understand a word I said. She said, baby, you was singing for you was talking. So I've always wanted to do this.
Yeah. Wow.
This is
you doing it, baby.
how I changed the world.
You doing it. Country Girl playlist out right now.
Yes.
Hubby is the manager. I want to ask this last question about you and hubby, because you are an absolutely drop dead gorgeous woman.
Oh, thank you.
And I know when you step out, I know the men's are watching.
Listen.
So how hubby be handling that, girl? What does he like? Come on, baby.
He's such a
Look,
quiet.
he's
such a quiet force.
I see you, Jay.
He's such a quiet force.
Okay.
People don't even know he's in the room half the time.
Okay.
And the crazy, even when I'm on stage, like they'll see him like videoing, and then he's always on stage behind me. But he's also my security. That's what people don't realize. He's not on stage because he's a camera guy. My husband's been doing security. He was in corrections for over 10 years.
Oh, he know how to lay you out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm literally like that little. Have you ever seen a little girl who their parents give them a really big dog, and they walk around and that big dog looks like they just whatever the little kid says they'll do. My husband will sit back and he'll let me talk all the shit I want. He'll let me do all of what I want. But when it come time to somebody disrespecting, if I turn around and do this, now he loud. Now you gonna hear him.
I feel them vibes.
He's when I say funniest person you probably don't ever talk to. People think he has a mean mug face, but no joke. Like he's
A
probably
big
the
old
funniest.
teddy bear.
He ain't no teddy bear because he ain't gonna play with you. But he's probably the funniest.
He not gonna play.
Him and my Journey. Journey is gonna be like I was about my dad. Journey is like that with her dad. And when I say she got his personality down to a science, she has my outgoingness. She's real bubbly, but you can't get over on them. You cannot pull the wool over their eyes.
Gotcha.
They see you coming from the door.
Wow.
That's how he is. That's why he don't say much, because like when you lying, he already knew you was lying.
And what's his sign again? Because, we were talking about
He's a
zodiacs.
Virgo.
Okay, so he's a Virgo, and you're
I'm an Aquarius.
an Aquarius. So that's water and...
Yes. What is
Isn't he fire?
Is it like wind? No, I think the Virgos
water
are like
and
wind or something. Are they earth?
So
Okay.
water and earth.
Yeah.
That's a good combo, though.
We making mud. That's why we like being outside.
Ooh, I'm
so
making
much.
mud. I like that. I like that. Because I know, like, when you first got here, Cecily, we were talking about how, there's just been so many shifts with both of our careers.
Yes.
And it's been good. It's been
Hey,
bad.
man,
It's been...
when I say you riding that sucker like a wave,
I'm trying to ride
baby,
that
you
thing.
surfing the day.
Okay.
You hear me?
And what do we say? Retrograde. It's a
Retrograde.
retrograde.
It's gotta be.
How has retrograde been treating you?
I normally I get to watch from outside and see how it affects other people, and I just kind of watch the dates and watch how how things go with technology, stuff crashing and all that. And I have noticed that there's way too many coincidences with it, so I'm really becoming a believer. But as far as how it's treating me, I don't know whether it was a retrograde or not, but I'm gonna be honest. My brother, we had pastor and wife anniversary first Sunday in August. My whole family was here. My sister brought her family from Texas. I got all my kids. So everybody was here. My god brother was there. Everybody was there. My brother stayed in a nursing home, maybe walking distance from us, 5 minutes walking distance from us. My sister was leaving Monday morning at 8 a.m. We got woke up at 3 a.m. with a call that he had passed away. Like, we had this great, glorious day at church. We fellowshipping. We had dinner. And then Friday, he was fine, like giggling. My dad had went and shaved him, did that little routine or whatever. And we had no idea because CJ's been sick for a while. And he's had days where, girl, he had COVID more than I did. And he bounced back every time.
So he's always been sickly?
He was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis.
Okay.
Yeah, when he was like 17 or 18.
Wow.
And that was rare because at that time they were saying that it was only for like men, black men who were like 40 and older. So to have a black guy that young get diagnosed, like there were no tests for it, no trials, it was just weird.
Yeah.
So that was a journey within itself because he was a musician. He still wanted to play. He went blind, so he had to stop playing. I would take my guitar to the nursing home and play with him sometimes and take my music up there and play it for him. So he was one of my biggest fans too. But that retrograde, after he passed away, I went the next day. I just wanted to get away. My husband took me to go get my nails done. We went all the way to Little Rock to go get my nails done, and he was getting his hair done. And I hit a Jeep. Now, y'all don't understand why.
You hit a Jeep?
She ran a light. It wasn't my fault. Her insurance is taking care of it. But y'all, Jeeps are my favorite vehicles on the planet. Like, oh my God.
You love
it hurt
Jeep.
my heart so
Jeep.
bad. Now, I have a van. We got a GMC van. And baby, when I tell you it's souped up, hubby got me a retro. So I got the TV. We got the thing that lets down to a bed in the back so I can sleep while we on the road. Like, it's spacious. The air is amazing in it. The sound is, like, that's my living room. I tell my mom, that's
y'all
my
got
living
things to do in that vehicle,
That's
baby.
what I'm saying. It's going to be some music made in the thing. Listen. Oh, I think I was more hurt about that lady's Jeep than I was my van. I love my van. But I told my husband I wanted to go off on her because I'm like, lady, you can't be driving no Jeep like that. You driving reckless.
Oh, wow. Hit the Jeep.
I hit it like the next day after my brother passed. And so at that point, I was like, all the stars and the moon are aligning at this point to figure out how to piss me off.
Yeah.
But I never lost my cool. I never like flipped out or anything because at that moment, perspective kicked in. You know? And I was just like, everybody safe.
Everybody's safe. It's all good.
It's all good.
We're going to keep it moving.
I already got to bury my brother Saturday. At least I ain't burying him and me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because what if I hit her head on?
Yeah.
So they planning one funeral and then they end up having to plan another one.
Yeah.
So perspective fixes a lot of things if you really just sit back and be like, okay, I know I'm having a bad day, but if this had happened,
Wow.
you know.
Wow. And
So retrogrades, don't get upset, y'all. Just fix your perspective, and retrograde will be a breeze.
yes. And you know, you mentioned your brother had multiple sclerosis. This is something that I've dealt with. My stepmom has multiple sclerosis.
Are you kidding?
And, you know, just dealing, like, to see her today, she's been diagnosed, I want to say over 20 years. You wouldn't even know anything is wrong with her, but she's been through so many trials with medications.
Are you kidding?
Yes.
My dad and my niece have it. They were diagnosed in the same summer, and they didn't get diagnosed until CJ had been diagnosed for probably about
Because at
15
first they don't
years,
know
15,
what's
20
wrong with you.
They don't know if it's a nerve issue.
Yes.
They don't know if it's a muscle issue. And honestly, the illness itself is really what took my brother, because they call it an MS hug, where they eventually lose so much muscle mass that they can't control their breathing. So it's like they suffocate. Yeah, we walked in the room, and you would think it would have been like a sad vibe in the room, right? And we walked in there and it looked like that boy was asleep.
Aww.
And because he had been sick before, and I told you he was on hospice, there had been times where we thought they didn't have to call the family in, and he didn't go nowhere. He bounced back like what y'all thought was finna happen.
Wow.
Y'all, he was gone, but I could still feel the body heat on him. I laid on him. I said, boy, if you wake up and take am breath, I'm going to whoop your tail.
Because he did it so many times, you just thought it's going to happen
I'm like,
again.
y'all, serious. But he was gone that time, but it was like he didn't even struggle. It was a peace about him. And that gave us some comfort because that was our biggest fear. You don't want to see your loved ones struggling in a moment like that.
Yeah.
Anybody that's ever had to deal with hospice, the main thing everybody says is keep them comfortable.
Yeah.
That's all you can do is keep them comfortable.
Wow.
We just wanted them comfortable. And that's where it's almost like he closed his eyes and said, all right, I'm going to head out.
Did you sing at his funeral?
I did. And that was probably the hardest thing I've ever done. I did it for him. But I'm going to tell you, my uncles, the Eternal Light Singers, which is also that quartet group that I was telling you about with my dad, they also own a funeral home. It's called Eternal Light Funeral Services. They do all of our family services. Like when they have family members that die, our family service is our family. That's the rule. So my uncle knows I'm normally the singer with the funeral home. At that moment, they were getting ready to walk CJ out. It was the end of the service. And there's a song. I don't know if you know who, baby, Sean Jones. Have you ever heard of Sean Jones?
That sounds
Quartet.
familiar.
He passed away. He's the one, he was actually at a show, like gospel show, and he was singing, passed out on stage, and they lost him.
I think I heard about that.
But when I say he was literally one of the most smooth, if Sean was here and came to Southern Soul, I wouldn't have a job. I would not have a job. And I think I'd be okay. I would listen to his music because Sean was that dude. Sean Jones got a song called Mr. Undertaker Man. Do me a favor, Mr. Undertaker Man. Will you do me a favor, Mr. Undertaker Man?
Okay.
All I need you to do is just drive slow. That's my brother that you're hauling to the grave. So that song already it sounds sad, right? It's a little up-tempo song, it sounds sad. My uncle looks at me and says, sing Undertaker Man. Everybody got that one uncle that just don't know. I was like, of all the songs he want me to sing, you want me to sing Undertaker Man?
I bet it did just fine.
Listen, my mom's best friend just told me this 2 days ago. She was at the house and she said, Girl, I didn't know whether to run, Miss Doretha, I didn't know whether to run or come shake you and just hug you. I didn't know what to do. She said, the longer you sung it, the better it got. I didn't know what to do. So yeah, I had to zone out for a minute to get through because I didn't want to break. I definitely didn't want to break in front of my folks, but that was hard.
Yeah,
that was
I
hard.
know it was.
But he had a great service though.
It was nice.
Oh my God.
Was it a celebration?
Baby, we did him a merry runaway. We did it a merry runaway. But the church was standing room only, and you really almost didn't have that. And then you had people from all walks of life, all of his nurses, his teachers, the other musicians that he taught how to play. And man, it was crazy.
That's a beautiful
It was
thing.
crazy. We had a community choir. The entire choir stand was like packed out.
Yeah.
And we had different singers from different churches come and lead music. Oh man, y'all, it was a blast.
I know you miss him. You know, and I know you said he was a big fan of yours in this Southern soul space.
I think he was just excited to see me doing music and he wasn't pushing me.
Could he sing too?
Yes.
See?
We
It's all
actually
in your
had a
DNA.
clip of him in his hospital bed singing with us before he passed away. No joke. And I think they put it in, you know how they do the little slideshows and stuff? They had it in the slideshow that he was singing. So he loved everything about music. Whether it was singing, playing, creating, whatever it was.
Yeah.
He loved everything about it.
Yeah, and I know a piece of him goes wherever you go. And you in this Southern soul space of music.
He goes everywhere I go.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah, I got that done. I got that done years ago.
Show them on the camera.
Yeah,
CJ.
yeah. That's my baby. He go everywhere I go.
Yes.
And even when my husband ain't with me, he with me in spirit.
I know he is. I know he is. Now, Cecily, this is what I want you to do. Explain to these folks what Southern soul music is, because it's a fusion of many things.
Yes.
And this is the space that you're in, and you're thriving in it and super successful in it. So I want you to explain to the people, what is Southern soul?
Southern soul is the soul of the South. It's like blues, country, jazz, R&B, and gospel.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. That's like if you get Kool-Aid and you just want to do the berry cherry, the tropical punch, the black cherry, you got to put all of them together and make a perfect Kool-Aid. Like Southern soul is like that.
Okay.
I feel like because you can't just say, when you say Southern soul, you're including the South. Well, think about it. When you ride through Arkansas, you can tell the difference between riding the Arkansas highway and the Tennessee highway.
Yeah.
You can tell the difference between Tennessee Highway and the Mississippi Highway. I ain't seen not one sign, but you can look around and be like, yeah, we in Mississippi.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we in Louisiana. You know what I'm saying?
Now, because they look similar.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So you know when you in the bayou. You know what I'm saying? Like you there's different shades of the South. And I feel like we all need representation. When people say country, when they say they're going to the country, they feel like we ought to have horses all the time and barns and boots. And believe it or not, most of us don't have not one horse, but we got about 4 cars that don't work in the yard right now that's got grass growing up around.
Come on now.
That's the country. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't always eat watermelon, but that's my favorite thing to eat.
Okay.
Like everybody has their own perceptions of the country. I feel like Southern Soul finally gave us some representation.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what? When I look on social media, online at some of, let's just say you going out on tour, some of the shows that I would guess that's captured up under the Southern Soul. You got your trail rides going on.
Zydeco.
I grew up going to trail rides in Texas.
Rodeos,
Zydeco.
That's what I'm saying.
Girl, I grew up going to Zydeco.
Shout out to Jeter Jones. That's big bro. Listen.
Yes, but to me, it seems like there's a resurgence in that space right now.
It is. It's becoming a movement, and I do credit some of it to Beyonce. Now, everybody had their own thing about, but Beyonce been doing country music. I've been a Beyonce fan a long time. K. Michelle,
she just got a deal.
K been doing country though.
Yeah,
Go back and
she was
listen
trying
to
to
that.
tell us.
Go back and listen to that album that had You Gon' Cry. Whatever that album is, there's a country song at the end of it that had me in a chokehold for 2 weeks. I couldn't listen to nothing but that one song. So they've been doing country, and they've been trying to show people that there are black people that have that representation in the South. And it just wasn't being noticed. But shout out to King George.
Yeah.
Shout out to Westlove.
Yeah.
They're the ones that came up in my generation. TK Soul, Sir Charles, Pokey.
All of them.
They've been around, and they've been making money. The money's always been there. So the support has always been there.
Yeah.
But it hasn't been this great because that was always what the old people did when we grew up. It wasn't what the young people did.
But let me tell you,
But
like,
now the young people love these trail
they
rides.
love it.
They tapping in now.
Look, when my husband is from Batesville, Mississippi, when we go out to Sardis and all
They
the areas,
love it.
baby, we all listen to the same thing. The little kids know the songs.
That's what I get so many videos of babies singing Party, Red Caboose, Southern Man.
I love it.
And now that this new album is out, it's a really great empowerment movement for women. That's why it's called Country Girl Playlist. I could have made a playlist for anybody, but I need the country girls.
Did you come up with the name for the album?
I did.
Country Girl Playlist.
Yeah, I wanted something for the country girls because we're so diverse. Like we love so much stuff.
Yeah.
We like R&B, but we listen to country music too. So why can't we have an album that has everything that we like on it?
Yeah.
So if I built my playlist, what would I want to hear? And that's how I ended up putting the album together because I already had most of these songs in my library. So I just kind of like put it together like a puzzle and was like, okay, if I'm riding, I want to hear this. Okay, I think I want this vibe next.
Yes.
Okay. And that's kind of how it came together.
Look, y'all go out and download Country Girl Playlist and listen to my girl Cecily Wilborn out here doing her thing. In
Call
the
your radio
Southern
station
Soul.
and tell them you want it on
That's
the radio.
right. Put it in the playlist. Like put the Country Girl Playlist on your playlist today.
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna jump real quick because I know we're a little pressed for time right now. We're gonna jump into Esco's Pop Talk. Now, when you came in on the scene, baby, I was like, come on, fashion. You know, very demure, very thoughtful, very cutesy. The boots, the hat, the fashions. Now, something that has been so funny to me, are you familiar with Tyrese?
Yes.
Tyrese recently did an interview on the Breakfast
Shout
Club.
out to Tyrese.
Mr. Emotional, right?
That's him.
That's him.
That's
So
him. And I'm gonna stick by him.
we know Tyrese coming with something. So
That's why he's saying like that.
what's circulating and trending right now is Tyrese talking about. He was like, "You see my jewelry? You see my watch?
$25 from Amazon.
$25 from Amazon." And, you know, he was like, ain't nobody robbing me. These women ain't robbing me out here when I spend them bands on them watches. And so you should have seen the responses from DJ Envy, who really brags about.
I didn't even see his response.
Baby, Charlemagne. Like, they were like laughing at him. I mean, it was funny how he did it, though, because he was kind of emotional when he did that. But what are your thoughts on that? Just him saying that with men and their egos, with fashion and spending money,
Right.
things like that. And how do you correlate that to your fashion?
I do what makes me feel confident. Like today, this outfit was cute, but it was more comfortable than anything because it is hot outside, y'all.
It is
so I needed
very
something that
cute.
was gonna get some breeze.
That it looks good.
I'm blessed because I don't shop for myself a lot. My husband shops for me.
Girl, now that is
So,
a blessing.
If it's something that I absolutely want, I will go get it myself. But for the most part, a lot of y'all be watching outfits that he bought. Boots, hats.
So you don't have to try things on or anything?
No,
You
he can
good?
order stuff offline and it'll come in like perfectly.
Okay.
So he just has a knack for finding clothes. I'm not very, my song Country Girl, I'm for real. I don't like fancy stuff. I don't like big, like this, honestly, I feel Tyrese. It's for the look because I got all this spangly stuff on, you know what I'm saying? On a normal day, y'all, my boots that I had on when I pulled up in the driveway there are just regular muddy boots. My mama, when I was growing up, always wanted me to dress like a baby doll. And I hated it because I was a tomboy. So the older I got, I liked some of the cute stuff. So I tried to figure out how to keep my comfortableness of being a tomboy, but still be cute.
Yes.
So my mama would leave me alone.
Well, baby, you working it out, honey.
So, Mama, I hope I did an okay job today.
Mama approves. I know she approves because you look absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Cecily.
I want the girls to start dressing, not necessarily more appropriately, but, leave something for the people to wonder.
Just something for the
Just
imagination.
something,
Do you feel like it's just a little more out there right now
It's
with
a
the
little-
young ladies?
Just a little bit, especially at the ages,
Yeah.
Now, I'm used to, when I was growing up, by the time my sister and them started going to like parties and clubs and stuff, I did start seeing them change up. But like 16, 15, where you're going to prom at that age,
Oh, it's
but
a
it's
big
see-through and your boobage look like you done had 2 kids and you're still breastfeeding. And
Okay.
it's like, no, you're still a baby. You don't even know what to do with those things.
They gonna
Put those
figure it out.
away. So I'm hoping that if I show them that we can be cute
Yeah.
and trendy and still kind of cover up a little bit, I'm hoping they'll pick that up.
Do you
They
have
pick
any
up everything
daughters?
else. I have 2 beautiful daughters.
How old are they?
My oldest daughter is 15. She's about to be 16 this year. And she's a
Okay.
cheerleader. Oh, my gosh, she's so beautiful. And then I've got a baby girl. Her name is Journey. She'll be 7 in a couple weeks.
Okay, she's 7, so she's watching Big Sister.
Yeah, she's definitely watching Big Sister.
She's watching Big Sister. And how is Big Sister dressing, honey? Because I know she probably maybe try to test the boundaries
Believe
with
it or
you
not,
on what
remember
she
I said
can
her
and
dad
can't
was
wear.
a PK.
Okay.
So her granny and papa and them didn't play that either.
Okay.
So growing up, she was the one that they would pull her pants up way up here, and I'd be like, "Y'all, please don't do that to my baby. That's no, don't do her like that." So I was actually the one that was like calming them down because they wanted her to dress like a nun during there. It was funny, but she dresses like I do. She's trendy, but she wears like the baggy stuff now that's in like the Aaliyah style stuff. She loves her
Yeah, I
crop
love
tops.
that they love the Aaliyah style.
Yes, she loves the crop tops, and she loved her dad. Well, Justin has her into these. What are they, dunks?
Oh yeah, they love the.
Oh my
dunks.
gosh, she has like
I like dunks too.
She has, and she just takes such great care of her shoes, so she doesn't have to keep buying them. So she has dunks like stacked now. Like I'd be like, girl,
She got a collection.
girl, you're doing too much. So she's
Okay.
beautiful. Her style, she is very unique with her style. She don't have to trend after nobody. Like if she feel like it's cute, it may not match to you, but if she's confident in it, she gonna walk out the house.
I
in it.
love it. Can she sing like her mama?
All of my babies
Oh,
sing.
that's a blessing, honey.
And it's like pulling teeth to get them to do it in front of people. But when it's just us as a family, oh honey, we do karaoke's, we do
love
TikToks,
it.
that's my little choir.
I love it, Cecily. Okay. Well, girl, I want to thank you so much for coming on the Verbally Effective podcast. Your journey has just been amazing.
I'm honored that you called me. No,
Yes.
seriously, I watched you from when I was like in the phase where I wasn't doing music. I was still watching y'all. I still freak out when I see Stan Bell. Like, y'all are the people that gave us the blueprints on how girls were supposed to act when we got certain places. Like, we didn't have to tuck her behind people and stuff like that. Like, you've always been bold.
Oh,
You've
wow. I
always been bold.
appreciate this,
So
Cecily.
I guess I want to say thank you.
Okay.
You gave me the opportunity, but I do want to say thank you because we watching. And just like you said, she watching Big Sis, I'm watching Big Sis, you know?
All
you may
right.
not,
Girl, you don't be
good,
crying on the Verbally Effective
But
podcast around here. That
times
really
get hard.
touches me.
Times get hard, so
Yes.
and we make plans. And our
Yes.
plans are never always how we want them sometimes.
Always.
But it's the perseverance for me.
Yes.
It's the perseverance, and it's the, no, I'm not finna quit. It's the attitude.
You're right.
Country girls.
Country girls.
Country girls.
Look, I'm straight out of Beaumont, Texas, and
just trying to
Cecily
tell
straight
y'all.
out of Mariana.
Just trying to tell
Arkansas.
y'all. You better get you one.
I love it. I want you to tell the verbally effective audience how they can continue to follow your journey, give them your socials, how they can get your Country Girl playlist, album, and all of your music.
So, shout out to 1 RPM. I just signed my first distro deal.
Okay, congratulations.
Secure the bag. Thank you, Lord. So, if you guys want to stream any of my music, whether it be videos, old music, new music, all of my catalog is now with 1 RPM, and I do have a smart link that will take you to my to all of my catalogs. Actually, just follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and I believe YouTube. All of them have the same handle, Cecily Wilborn. So CECILYWILBORN, and you can find me. Look, if you look hard enough in the gas station, I might be in there too. Gas prices is dropping.
I love Cecily. And you said you just signed your first distro deal. For those that don't know what that is, tell them what that is.
So distribution handles where your streams go. So every time you log into Amazon Music, YouTube Music, Apple Music, when you're doing those TikToks and Reels on Facebook and stuff like that, all of that is generating streams. So what I did was I chose a company that I felt like would help me grow. I didn't want somebody just making money off of my music. I wanted them to push me a little further. Yes. So shout out, they are the biggest Southern Soul distribution company in the United States. They have a band of us over there now. Okay. Gita Jones, Sir Charles, TK Soul, myself,
everybody
FPJ, Squirt Kelly. Like when I say, and they're still building the roster.
And what's the name of the company?
1 RPM.
1 RPM.
Shout out to
that?
1 RPM.
Any advice?
I want you guys to just do the work. Do the work and learn the business. A lot of the mistakes I made, I would tell people a million times. I don't mind reliving my trauma if that's going to stop you from having some. So learn the business. Take time and don't rush. The fan base that you build over time, they don't leave. The quick people, they're always just looking for a trend. So find your people. Find your people and do the work.
Find your people. Wow, you heard it from Cecily Wilborn herself. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. I really enjoyed you, lady. You are such a treat, a force in this space. And
I appreciate it.
I know, I mean, it's like the sky's the limit with you.
I told God I was going to ride the wave. I'm not going to put myself in a box.
Yes,
if I end up acting by next week, hey, wherever it takes me.
Who wants to be in a box?
Yeah, like wherever it takes me. I just want to ride the wave at this point because he's opening the door. So who am I to tell him I don't want to walk in them?
Yes, ma'am. But I wish you the best, Cecily. I appreciate you so much.
Anything
you need, call me, girl.
You know it, because listen, when the number popped up on my phone, y'all, I freaked out real bad.
I was like, I know who I'm getting on my next verbally effective because I kind of took a break from the visuals, but I was like, oh, I start going all in my phone. I was like, I know I got Cecily number from last time.
If you had an inbox to me, you'd have got the same response.
Yes.
What time you need me to be there?
Yes. So you're gonna see some more collaborations with me and Cecily going forward very soon. But I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
And I know the verbally effective audience, they can get some knowledge, some inspiration, motivation from you today.
I hope so.
Yes.
If I'm not inspiring or helping, I ain't doing my job. So
okay.
whether it's music or me talking and joking around, I hope I'm helping somebody.
Yes, indeed. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you download that Country Girl playlist, Cecily Wilborn, and I'll see you guys next week.